So we just went and got a teeny tiny little used chest freezer. Reason being that when you buy retail food from places like Reese's and Albertsons and that kind of thing, you really are paying an awful lot of money. And even when you're growing your own food, there are going to be things you still need to buy. And canning is awesome. It is awesome. We don't do real well with canned food. We do much better with fresh food. And so, fresh and frozen.
Or just fresh frozen. It was a movie thing.
Was it?
Did you do fresh or frozen? Yes, fresh frozen.
So there's our little chest freezer. It's not very big, but it's enough so that we can go get some things at Costco. And if we find something on a really good deal, I can freeze it up, put it in I can put it in baggies and freeze it. First time we will have actually participated in Costco. I've been there with my sister before. I never actually belonged. So we're gonna go do that.
To say bye.
See if we can't get our freezer full and save some money, so that for one thing, John would spend awful lot more time at home if he wasn't running to the grocery store every 3 days, because we go through fresh food very, very quickly. We have become part of the mother machine, the Borg. We've become the Borg. We are at a Costco, but I've been with my sister before and she really loved it, and if we'd had one close enough, we probably would have already joined before this. We just didn't have one. So we're trying to find food. I have to get through the books before we can find the food. Okay, so apparently the secret to Costco shopping is to make a loop and eat all the samples, and it will fortify you for the next go around. So we spent about $450 on food. A lot of that is food storage, but the way that we saved money back home was that we would go out when the farmers were digging potatoes, we would go out and sack the potatoes and store them in big boxes. So what are you doing?
Putting potatoes.
So why are we putting them in the other boxes? Why don't we leave them in those boxes?
Because we need them in another box. And they'll go bad.
Yep, keeps them from going bad. So what are you doing? You're rubbing dirt off?
Yeah, and dust.
So that it doesn't go down our drain? And then what are you doing? Show me. Show me putting one in the box. So
So we are potato picking, and it does get a little bit hard when you're trying to take a video in all this mud. We are with Grandpa Dirt and Grandma Dirt and our 2 cousins. And this is kind of fun, actually.
So we would get 400 pounds worth of potatoes, and then we would use them all winter. We did the same thing with apples. We would go out in the orchard, and we would go out in we would go out in the orchard, and we would get 400 pounds of apples. So we forgot our ladders. No, don't get the nest down. Just get the apples down.
Are there birds' eggs? Are there birds in it? I don't know.
Kaya, can you get them?
I see it. Got them. Right there. Look at So, this is Paige, and I'm cutting apples. We're making applesauce. The apple grinder is right here. That is for grinding something else, and the red and gray thing is for peeling it. The apples, we're making applesauce. Now I'm cutting apples. See how I banged? Now let me show you how smooth I got it. See how smooth?
And then we would take them home, and anything that we didn't get to in time, we would turn into applesauce, and then can them, and then we would turn it into fruit leather. And then anything that actually went bad, we would feed to the pig. But she doesn't have any spotted girls.
I want to touch on the baby.
Aren't they so fun? But we just like to make sure that he has plenty. $25 for pickup load.
Sometimes he just make them go underneath me.
Okay, let's give that one to the babies. No, it goes over here on top of their hay where it will be clean. Up close. Pigs, we would feed to the ducks, we would feed to the animals, and then it still ended up in our fridge. And then as far as meat went, we raised our own meat. We raised... So we got one full box of bacon, which is amazing to me because that was not a really big pig. We came away with 5 boxes of meat because we had, we requested the hearts, the livers, and the tongues to be done up too, and they make really good roasts. And then we had 7 ducks. This one, we had half of them smoked. I don't even know if I can find it. Here it is. Half of them we had smoked. So these ducks are smoked. And then these ducks were not smoked. You can see the size differences. These ones have more moisture in them still since they weren't smoked. This is goat butter. This came in about 12 seconds. So, about ready to have dinner. I'm working on the presentation, but in the meantime, I really want to get this information to you. We raised our own eggs.
Fast. She's gonna be chatty.
We raised our own eggs, and we had our own milk. And so the only thing we were really buying at the grocery store was dry goods. And so that's how we always managed to have a very low food budget. And now that we're buying everything from the store, we work to buy really high quality food. And high quality food, I don't think it's actually more expensive. If you think about how many frozen pizzas you have to eat to get full and how long they stay with you, a really good steel cut oats breakfast is probably better than cold cereal type of a thing. So as we're aiming and working towards getting back to growing more of our own food, then we will take you along for the ride and how we did that. It will probably look a little different in Oklahoma because Oklahoma is quite a bit warmer. Back home we did have a root cellar in our basement, and so we had a cool place to store potatoes and to store apples and onions all year round. And we bought everything in 100-pound bags. 50-pound was the minimum. And so I'll try and get some of those videos up to show you guys how we used to harvest and purchase in bulk and purchase. A lot of what we purchase, we just purchase from the farmer, which is even cheaper than going to Costco, is just go to your farmer. Same thing is true. We can buy a lamb here that is grown by a local farmer that's amazing. So go to Shepherd's Cross if you're anywhere near Tulsa, and they have amazing lamb and other things like locally grown walnuts and pecans. So I really, not only is it nice to support local farmers, but it's always less expensive and you always get a better product. Okay guys, so everything is a mess because we've got so much food we're bringing in. So we went and got $45 worth of noodles. These are Asian noodles that are mung bean noodles, tapioca noodles, potato starch noodles, and sweet potato starch noodles. Foodle noodles. And we went and got a freezer, a secondhand freezer. Hopefully I can get it open. Yep, and it's already cooling off, so that's exciting. So we got cheese. Cheese will stay good for forever in the fridge. And if it's mozzarella, you can put it in the freezer. we went and got oil. We were a little bit low on oil, so we went and got this big oil. And then we got, okay, I'll show you the other stuff in a minute. Okay, so we had this bench that I made, and I need to make one more, but these tubs fit under it perfectly, and I can put potatoes and other things inside of them.
Spuds.
Good girl, that's just what I want. I want spuds right here.
I have the pickups.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Okay, anything that's not frozen, just leave out for me to put up.
Yes, honey, that's exactly the case.
Okay, so this time of year, things will stay good. Just keep them covered because you don't want potatoes to get exposed to sunlight. And you don't want to leave a closed lid on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to put the potatoes in. And then we're going to put them under the bench and put the cover down.
Mom, there's even a camera going.
Yeah, my camera's going.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so these are noodles. This is enough to get us through probably a month. And then with these potatoes, they'll probably get us through a week, maybe 2 weeks. We eat a lot of potatoes. We use them for hash browns. We use them in soups. We use them for, everything. So what I'm going to do is move the toilet paper that we already have stored under there. Food storage takes up a lot of space. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There's 2 layers. So there's potatoes back behind this one. Bobby's cooker is behind the toilet paper, and there's toilet paper storage. For now, what I have in here is tools so that they're not getting stolen from the front lawn. But that's what it looks like. It will look dressier once I've spent some more time on it. But for now, all it needs to do is cover it. Okay, so this was really inexpensive for this whole package. It was $22.87, already sectioned off. Each one of these is 1 meal for us. So I'm going to put them in little Ziploc bags, and each one goes in the freezer. And what my mom used to do is she would cook it all, brown it all at the same time, and then put it in Ziploc bags, which makes the later meal prep even faster. Okay, first food storage meal is hamburger with an onion. We got 20 pounds of onions and probably 10 pounds of hamburger. We took about half a pound of hamburger to make this. I believe it was half a pound. And then in the Instant Pot, which I am so in love with, I have 1 can of, what are they called? Tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and then organic black turtle beans with salt. And you can see all my compost over here that really needs to go to the compost pile. So that's what you're seeing. We go through a lot of vegetables in a day. So there's the first one. We'll try and get you some more.